Hi there, my name is Simon, and in this video I'm going to show you step by step how to build your own website from start to finish. This is a complete tutorial for absolute beginners, so even if you don't know anything about building a website, by the end of watching this video and following along with it, you'll be having your own professional website set up and running. This video is sponsored by Wix, which is the website builder that we're going to be using to build our website today. Wix is a very popular website builder because they make it very easy to build and maintain your website, but at the same time you get a lot of customization options, so you can pretty much build any website that you want to. Doesn't matter if you want to start a blog, build a portfolio website, or build a website for your business. Now in this video I'll walk you through everything on my computer so you can easily follow along and set up your own website while watching this video. The goal is that at the end of watching this video, you'll be all set up and ready to go with your new professional website. I'll leave timestamps to all the steps down below in the video description, so at any time you can come back to this video and rewatch certain parts. And if you find this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up so that more people can find this information. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Alright, so let's get started creating a new website. Again, this video is designed so that you can easily follow along and set up your own website alongside watching this video. So I'd highly recommend you just follow along because that way you'll get the most out of this video. If I talk too slow or too fast at some point, just change the speed of the video on the bottom right of the video screen, or you can just always go back to certain topics or pause the video and then watch when you're ready to go on to the next part. Now we want to make sure to all start at the same place. So what you can do is just go to the video description down below and click on the first link that you find there, or just go to the top of the URL if you're watching this from a mobile phone maybe, and just type in madixmedia.com/Wix website, and then you make sure to actually start at the same place as I'm starting here, because this will take you to the Wix site where we can start to create a new website. So this is what the screen should look like. Maybe they change the image sometimes in the future depending on when you watch this video, but all you got to do is click on Start Now on this button, and that will take us to the account setup of Wix, which is the website builder that we're going to be using in this video. So here on this page, you just type in your email and your password, and then click on Sign Up. Right, so here in the next step, Wix is going to ask us a couple of questions about what kind of website we want to build. Now, all they do this for is so they can recommend a couple of templates to you later on. So actually, if you don't want to give them these answers, all you can do is just click on skip on the bottom right. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to go through it real quick. So let's click on Let's Do It. And let's choose, I want to create a site for, let's say, myself. And it should be a, let's say, a business site. But obviously for you, if you want to create a blog or a fitness site or a designer site, you choose whatever this applies to you. I'm just going to choose a business site, and let's say I have never done this before. Again, it doesn't really matter what you choose here because all they do is they recommend specific templates to you, but you can choose any template you want eventually. Now here in the next step, what you can do is choose the ADI website creator, which basically artificial intelligence creating your website. All you have to do is just type in a couple of answers to some questions about your site, upload your logo and all that kind of stuff, and then Wix will create a site for you. Now what we're going to do in this video is create our own site so that we have full control over what we are creating. So I would highly recommend to actually go with this option right here and not choose the ADI editor unless you want to create a site in like 10 minutes. But eventually you don't really know what you have created behind the scenes. So I would suggest you just go through this option and follow along with this tutorial. So we're going to click on choose a template here. And that will open up the templates that Wix is suggesting to us for what we have given them as an answer. So as you can see here, it's pre-selected to business and services, so we can see these templates here. But again, you can just choose any kind of template you want. So maybe if you are into sports and fitness, you want to create a website for sports and fitness, just choose it up top here and then go through these templates. And what you can do is you can always just click on View, and then you can see a preview of this template, how this website will look like when you choose this template. You can also click on View Full Demo, and then you see the website kind of as it looks like as a visitor. So here, this would be an example for a fitness center, I think. And then you can also scroll down. You can see how the text looks like, how the content is appearing. You can also go through these different menu items on the top here, contact, login, and all that kind of stuff. So you can also look at a mobile version. So you want to make sure eventually that your website also looks good on mobile. So I would suggest you also check out the mobile version of your template. And the cool thing with Wix is they have pretty much optimized every template they have for mobile as well. So there's not a lot of work you have to do eventually to make it look very nice on mobile as well. But let's actually go back. And another thing you can do here is to really find the best template for your specific website that you want to create. You can just type in, let's say we are a fitness coach. So type in fitness coach, and then they will give you the exact templates that they suggest to you as a fitness coach. So you see tennis coach, financial coach, so pretty much everything related to coach. And you could probably easily change this tennis coach template to a fitness coach template. You can also type in maybe something like coffee shop, and then see what they have for this specific topic. So tea shop, coffee house. As you can see, they have tons of different templates to kind of limit the amount of design work you have to do eventually. So as an example for this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do let's say a coaching and consulting website. And I'm going to choose, let's say I'm going to choose this template right here. I think this one looks really nice. It looks very clean as well. So this is exactly what I'm going to use for this tutorial. And again, the colors, don't worry about the colors. You can always change the colors eventually in the editor later on. And pretty much all the background images and all that kind of stuff, you can change it as well. So let's go ahead and click on edit this site on the bottom top right, and that will take us into the Wix editor. So now we are inside of the Wix website builder, where we can start customizing everything about this template that we have just chosen as a basis for our website, and just start designing our website to the website that we want to build for our business or whatever we want to build our website for. Now, before we start changing anything around here on our website pages, I want to quickly give you an overview of this Wix website builder. I'm not going to go too much in detail because I think just going through each menu here is very boring, and I think the best way to learn is just to build your own website, learning by doing. And you'll get familiar pretty quickly with this website builder, as it's one of the easiest ways to build your website. Now here on the top left, you have a main menu, which probably not going to use a lot, but over the course of this video, I will go through some of these menu items here. So you will get familiar with some of them, the most important ones, but I'm not going to go too much into this menu right here because mostly you're not going to use it much. Then here on the right side on the top, you have the save button, which is something I would recommend you do every couple of minutes when you do something. Just save it. The autosave is on, but sometimes it just takes too long to autosave and you will lose work that you have done on your website. So whenever you can remember, just click on save. Then you have the preview button, which is the option that you can use to preview your website, which is very useful. So let's say you change something here on your website and you want to see how it looks like as a visitor. So all you got to do is click on preview, and then you will see how your website currently looks like for a visitor. You can also use these different menu items here. Just click on them and you see each of the pages. This is actually fully functional. You can also go to the chat box and start a chat. So the preview button is a good way to see how something looks like that you have just added to your website. And then you have the publish button, which is something that we will do at the end of actually creating our website, because once you click on publish, then people will actually be able to go to the URL of your website and they will be able to see your website and navigate through your website. And as long as you don't click publish, then the changes that you are making right now aren't live yet. So let's say you have your page online, and then in a month you come back to this Wix editor and you want to change some things around. So you can easily do that, because as long as you don't click on publish, then the people will not see the changes yet. And then once you think, okay, this is the new version, you can click on publish, and then the new version will be live. So how do we actually navigate through each of these pages that we have on our Wix site. For this, you're going to use this drop-down menu right here. So right now you can see we are on the services page. When we want to go back to the home page, we just click on the drop-down menu here, go to home, and that will take us back to the home page. So that's basically how you can change each page. Just go to the drop-down menu, go to the page that you want to change or design, and then it will change it. And you can change the things around here. The next thing that is interesting is this one right here. So we have the desktop view, which is the view that we're usually used to design our website or just do stuff on our website, the desktop view. But then once your page is finished, you want to go to the mobile view right here and make sure everything looks nice on mobile as well. Now, the cool thing with Wix templates is they have already optimized every template for mobile, so there's probably not a lot that you need to do. But as you can see here, a lot of things are different on mobile. So if you click on preview, you see that the menu is kind of with these 3 lines, is kind of a drop-down menu. And you also have other options here on mobile. So you have the scroll up icon right here. So as you can see, the experience of your website on mobile is a lot different than on desktop. And as most of the traffic nowadays comes from mobile, you want to make sure your page is optimized for mobile as well. And over the course of this video, once we are finished with our site, we're going to go into the mobile view right here, and we're going to make sure to optimize everything for mobile as well. And then you have these buttons up top here. So you have the undo button. This is when you want to undo something. So if I would drag this up here and then I want to have it back on the bottom, then I just go to the undo right here, and then it will snap it back to the original position. You can always redo it as well to put it up there again, but you're going to use the undo button probably a lot. Then we have the zoom out and reorder option here, which will take a further perspective to your website, so you can see your website kind of from a macro view. And this is very useful to kind of change these sections around on your website. So most websites, you probably know that they are kind of built in certain sections. So mostly there's a header on the top, a footer on the bottom right here, and then in between there are these sections. So this is a very easy way to build websites. And on Wix, they are called strips. So as you can see here, this is a strip. And when we go to this view, we see here, this is the first strip, the second strip, the third strip, and the fourth strip. And we can also change these strips around by just hovering over the strip and then go to the right side and click on move up. And then this contact us strip will be above the about us strip. Let's undo this again. You can also duplicate strips and then design it from kind of use this as a template. But I usually use this view to just kind of move things around here on the website. And then when you go to exit mode, this is the mode that you actually use to kind of start changing the text around, change the designs around on the strip itself. So that's very useful as well. Then you have the tools on the top right here as well. I usually just untick the toolbar because it's something you probably won't use a lot when you're building websites. So I untick this. But what I do is I tick the rulers because I think this is very useful. So the rulers is just the width of your website and the height in terms of pixels. So as you can see here, I've already added a center grid line as well. So the width of our main website is, I think, 980 pixels. So what I've done is I added a grid line here in the middle. All you have to do is just click on the plus sign and then it will add a grid line. And I added this grid line at 480 pixels, so you have a center grid line, which will make it a lot easier to center objects on your website later on when you start to add elements. So this is very useful, and obviously these are grid lines, so you want to turn these grid lines on as well. And something else that is quite important is these two grid lines that are kind of as set up as default are very important, because everything you put inside of these two grid lines will be always visible. It doesn't matter what kind of window, what kind of a desktop people have, what kind of window size they have, this content will be visible. Everything that you put outside of this grid line will not necessarily be visible. So you want to make sure to put all the content inside of these two grid lines. And then let's go back to tools. And another thing that I would just turn on is the snap to objects, because it makes it a lot easier to just align everything on your website. Because if you have this turned off and you want to move things around here, you don't know when it is really centered in the middle. But when you have this turned on right here, then it will snap automatically. As you can see, these magenta lines, it will snap automatically to the middle, or you can also snap it to the text above or the bottom. So you can really easily align every element of your website. So this is the setup that I would keep here for the tools. And then on the left side right here, you have all these different menu items that you'll be using a lot when building your website. But because we're going to go through most of them anyway while building our website over the course of this video, I'm not going to go through each of them right now. So let's now dive into the fun stuff and actually start building and customizing our website. Now, the first thing that we want to take a look at is the color theme and also the font of our new website. So we go to the left side here and click on Theme Manager. Then, as you can see here, there is a default theme already set up for our website. For every template, Wix already has default themes, and you could either go ahead and change each of these colors right here to your branded colors. Maybe you already have a branded color scheme, so you can just change it right here. Or you could just click on Change Theme and then choose one of the other themes that are available for this template. So you could just go through here and then see how this theme looks like for this specific template. So let's maybe choose this one right here. And as you can see here, this is like kind of a grayish theme. And if you want to really check it out, we just go to the top right, click on Preview, and maybe go through some of the pages, the About section, the Project section, and see if this looks nice in our opinion. And I think it looks pretty good. So let's go back to the editor and let's keep this theme for now. And let's move on to the font. So let's click on Text, which is just below the colors right here. And as you can see here, you can choose a font for each different type of text on your website. So you have 5 different heading types, or 6 different heading types actually, and 3 different paragraph types. And by default, it's set up that each heading is the font Railway, and each paragraph is Open Sans. So what you could do is just click on heading 1 and then change the font right here. But so again, if you have like a branded font, you can just change it to your own font that you kind of use for your business. Or you just keep it, or you just choose whatever you think looks nice. The only thing I would recommend is that you don't use more than 2 or 3 fonts max, because the more fonts you use on your website, the longer it will take for your sites to load, which is very bad as a user experience, and also Google will rank your website not as high if your pages take a long time to load. And also it will just not look professional if you have a lot of different fonts on your website. So in this case, I will just leave this font right here, but if you would want to change it, just change it for each of the headings and each of the paragraphs. So let's say I would change this to Arial, then I would change heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all to Arial. And so I keep having like only 2 fonts. So this is quite important. And then once we've decided on our fonts and on our colors for our website, we can move on and change the background, the main background of our website. Because this website right here, you don't really see much of the background on this page. And maybe if you go to the About page, oh no, I think the background right here is actually white. So this white that you see in the background here, this is the background. And if you go to this square, we can change that. So you can either put in an image or maybe upload an image and put it in there. So if you go to image, and then we could either upload media right here, or we could go to media from Wix, and then you can just choose any image that would make sense for your website. So let's say this is a consulting website. So maybe we find some nice backgrounds for consulting. We could just type in consulting, and then maybe we can choose this one right here, consulting on tablet, change background. And then as you can see, it will change the background right here. But obviously it doesn't look very nice because there's just too little contrast to the text in the front of the page. So to solve that problem, we can go back to the background menu right here and then go to settings. And here's where we can maybe change the image opacity to maybe, let's say 10. And then as you can see, the contrast of the elements on the front of the page are a lot better readable than before. You can also go into these settings right here, where you can change pretty much everything, like the contrast, the saturation, and all that kind of stuff right here. So you can change the contrast, the brightness, and pretty much everything. So if you want to do that, you can go into that menu as well. But I think it looks pretty nice. So it's the background looks professional, and you can read all the elements in the front. Then what you want to do is go to apply to other pages, and then you can apply it to maybe all pages, or you could just apply it to specific pages. So maybe only the home page or the services page. But in this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just apply it to all pages. So I'm going to click on all pages, and then the background will be the same for all pages. So that's it. Apply to other pages, and we can go out here. So now that we have set up the basics of our new website, we want to go ahead and customize each of the pages of our website. So to navigate to our home page, because we're going to start with our home page first, we're going to go to the top left side and then click on home, and that will take us back to our home page. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from top to bottom. So first I'm going to adjust the header, then each of the strips right here, and then eventually we're going to go and adjust the footer on the bottom. So let's go ahead and start by adjusting the header. So first of all, you want to probably insert your name or your logo on the top left right here. So this right now is a text element, and I want to put in an image actually, because my logo is a JPEG or a PNG or something like that. So I'm just going to right click this element and then click on delete. And then it's gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on add on the left side. And here is where you can add all kinds of elements to your website. And probably on your own time, you just want to go through each of these items, just see what's possible on your website, because Wix has tons of customization options and just a lot more than I can cover in this video. But right now, again, we want to put in our logo, which is an image. So I'm going to click on image, and then I'm going to go to my image uploads because I have to upload this specific logo. And then I've already uploaded a couple of images right here, but probably for you, this is empty right now. But what you can do is just click on upload media on the top left, and then click on upload from computer, and just make sure to just drag in all the kind of images, videos, and all the kind of stuff that you want to put on your website, which will make it a lot easier in the future, because you don't have to upload it every time you want to put something on your website. So if you know that you want to put in a couple of images, just upload all of your images at the same time, and then it will be in your media library right here, and you can always just choose them this way. So right now I want to put in the white logo. So I'm going to choose this white logo, click on add to page on the bottom right, and that will insert my logo into the canvas. So obviously this is a bit too large, so I'm going to make it a bit smaller by just dragging it down a little bit, maybe like this, a bit smaller like this. And then you can just drag it to the position that you want to. And you see these magenta lines here on the top. These are kind of trying to help you to snap the object in position so they kind of match the overall symmetry of your website. So let's just drag it so it looks good to you. I'm just going to keep it like this. And now we have inserted our logo. Another thing you can do is just put in a link to this logo that goes back to your home page, because the header, this one, is what people will always see on each of your pages. So it's very helpful that people can just click on your logo and then get back to the home page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over this element, go to this link icon right here, and then you can link it to all different kinds of things. You could also link it to another website, or maybe your social media or whatever. But I want to link it to a page, and I want to link it to the home page. Which page? Home. And it should open in a current window. Perfect. Click done. And now I could click on this logo, and it will take me back to my home page. Again, we can always test this out by clicking on preview, and then go to about, then go to again Madix Media, and then it will take me back to the home page. And right now, by clicking on preview, I see that this logo is a bit too low down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag this up a little bit, maybe like this. Again, go to preview, and as you can see, it looks a lot better now. Okay, let's move on to the menu items right here. So by default, we have these different pages in the top menu: the About, the Services, Projects, Clients, and Contact. Now, when you want to do, probably not everything will apply to your website. So what you can do is click on this element, click on Manage Menu, and that will open up this menu right here. What you could also do is go directly to this menu, and it will open up your site menu. First thing you can do here is just drag these up and down. So for example, if the first thing that people should see here on the left side is, let's say, services, you're just gonna drag these services on the top, and then you will see the services right here. Now, maybe you also wanna hide different pages right here. So let's say we wanna hide the projects. So I'm gonna go to projects, gonna go to the 3 dots right here, and I'm gonna click on hide. And that will hide this specific page, and people won't find this page anymore. Now, when you want to add a new page, all you got to do is just go to this button right here where it says Add Page, and then you can either choose from a template here on this side, or you can just click on Blank Page, and then it will add a new site, so a new page right here. And let's give this page a name. Let's say this is a blog, and click Done. And now this page is automatically in the top menu. Again, if you want to put it out of your menu, just go to the 3 dots, click on hide, and then it will not be visible anymore. So that's basically how you can adjust the top menu. And again, for adjusting your new sites, all you got to do is go to the top left side and then go to whatever side you want to adjust. Okay, so what you see right here is basically for a website where people can create a membership account. Because this website should be a very basic website, I'm just going to delete this because I don't want people to be able to sign up on my website. So I just can delete this here, and then I'm going to drag this to the right side, and then we can get rid of this login icon. So this is pretty much it for the header. Now let's move on to the first strip. Now this image that you see right here is obviously not our background image. This is a specific image specifically for this first strip. So we just click on Change Strip Background right here, and then let's maybe change it to something more relevant. Like I said, let's say we build a site for a consulting firm. So let's click on Image, and then we're gonna look for an image that is suitable for what we want to create. So I'm just going to type in consulting and see what kind of images Wix is offering me here. I think this one might fit quite well. Let's choose this, change background, and that will change the background of this first strip right here. I think this looks pretty good, so I'm just going to keep it like that. Okay, let's move on. Obviously, you can change the text right here. If you want to maybe change this text, you can just highlight it, type in whatever you want to here. I'm just going to keep it as it is, but maybe you want to insert a button on the top of your website, because that's something that is very kind of a call to action on the top of your website is very useful most of the time. So let's put a button just below this Achieving Growth text right here. Obviously there is no space, so we have to kind of drag things around a little bit. So maybe let's see, we can just drag this down a little bit, make this image a bit larger as well, and then just drag this down a little bit as well. And now we have space for a button. So again, to add a new element, we go to the left side on the plus sign, and now we're gonna add a button right here. And what I would recommend is to choose a themed button, because those buttons fit to your color theme that we have chosen before. So we're gonna choose this button right here. You can just drag it in. And now, as you can see here, it will snap automatically to the middle because I have created this middle grid line right here. And you can also make this a bit larger by just dragging it out. Okay, center the button. Then you want to change the text to, let's say, contact us. And maybe also, then we want to also add a link. So when people click on this button, then something should happen, obviously. So in this case, what I want to do is I want him to go to the content section. So all that has to happen is it has to scroll down to this specific section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the button, Then I'm going to go to a link. And then you have different options. So you can link them to a web address. You can link them to a specific page on this specific website, or to a document, email, phone number, lightbox. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the anchor, which is something that maybe you haven't heard of, but it's a very cool feature here. So I'm going to click on anchor, and then I'm going to click on contact, because we've already put an anchor on the contact. So we click on done. And then what will happen is it will automatically scroll down to the content section. As you can see here, this is the anchor. And if you want to, let's say if we would make this say about us, and we would want it to go to the about us section, about us. And then we would obviously want it to go to the about us section. So what we have to do is put an anchor right here. So how we do this is we go to the plus sign, then we go to menu, go to anchors, and then we just put in an anchor right here. And obviously we can change the name of this anchor to about us. And then when we change this button, go to link, and then we change this anchor to about us. Click done. And now when we go to preview on the top right, when people click on this button, it will automatically go to the About Us section. Now the same thing when people click on contact here, right here, this is also connected to an anchor. They will go to the content section. This is kind of different than these buttons where it will open up a completely new page. It really depends on what you like to do. What you could do is also have all the content on your homepage right here, and then just put anchors to every kind of part of the website, and then have these links here go to the different anchors. That's really up to you. So let's move on to the next strip or the next part of our homepage. Obviously you can just delete anything that you don't like for this homepage, or you can add new sections. So if you don't like, let's say, this part right here, all you got to do is right click and then click on delete, and then it will just delete this specific section. Now, when you delete something, there will be a hole inside of your strips right here. And the easiest way to close this hole is to just go to the zoom out and reorder button. And then you want to just drag this bottom strip to the top one right here, and then it will kind of fill this gap. Then click on exit mode again, and then you will be back in your editor. So let's say we want to change around this about section a bit. Maybe we want to add an image of ourselves. So we're going to click on add, then go to image, go to my uploads right here. I'm going to add an image of myself, add to page. Then each element, you can just adjust the size right here. And obviously we have to change the size of the text, the brackets of the text as well. And then I'm going to change this. You can also, again, you just click on each element, and then you can see all the different options. I would suggest you just go through each of these options and then see for yourself what you can do. Let's say I want to crop this to, I want to crop this and make it round like this. Cool. So again, I'm not going to go through each of the options that you can do with each element, because you have so many customization options. It would just be too boring for this video. But one thing I want to show you is the get text ideas option. So when you don't really know what to write about yourself, you can click on get text ideas and then type in the industry. Let's go back here. Type in the industry right here that you are active in. So let's say we are a consulting agency, and then we want to create a text about, we want to create an extended about. Click on create text, and then it will auto generate an example text that you can choose for your about us section. So this first option would be your business name offers the comprehensive capabilities of deep industry knowledge, or this business was founded in 1981 with a single mission. So depending on what fits what you want to do the best, just click on use text, and then it will automatically put this text inside of this text box, and you can still change all the words around. So this would be medics, let's say medics consulting. So again, I think this feature is pretty nice to get some inspiration about what kind of text you should put on your website. Now, let's say we want to add a new section or a new strip, below our About Us section and before our Contact Us section. So in order to add a new strip, what we can do is click on Add. And then depending on what we want to put in there, we can just go through each of these options. We could, for example, put in a slideshow through the interactive menu here, or we could just put in a video, or maybe another form. Maybe there's just so many things you can put in. But for example, let's put in a slideshow. So let's choose this. And then it will automatically put in a new section. But now it's actually put the section below the Contact Us page, but the Contact Us strip. But I want to put it below the About Us section. So again, I'm going to go to the Zoom Out and Reorder. And I'm going to put this one, click on the arrow, and then it will put it just above the Contact Us section. Once in a while, you want to click Save again. And then obviously you can change all the different settings of this slideshow as well. So you could click on Manage Slides or change slide background. You would maybe want to choose this one. Then you go to the next slide. Then you're going to choose this image. Obviously, you can change the text as well here. And this looks actually pretty nice when you go to your website and you have these slideshows set up. Then people can just kind of slide through these. So as you can see, tons of possibilities. I'm going to also show you how to add a video. So let's click on the plus sign, click on strip, then go to classic and add just a white strip right here. And again, just put it on the bottom. So I'm going to go to Zoom Out and Reorder. I'm going to put the strip one stage above, go to exit mode. And then I'm going to put a video right here. So I'm going to again go to add. As you can see, the add menu we're going to use a lot because every time we add something, we're going to click on add. Then this time it will be a video. So let's just choose video upload and we can just drag it in our canvas. We can center it a bit like this. And then you can change the video. You can obviously put in a YouTube video or you can upload a specific video. So whatever you want to. I would recommend to just embed a video from YouTube or from Vimeo because then you don't need as much space on your website. Then when you click on preview, people can just click on this video and then it will start playing on your website. Okay, so let's move on to the next strip, which is the Contact Us strip. Here, if you have a local business, I think it would make sense to just include this Google Maps widget right here. But what you got to do is you got to make sure that it's actually your real address. So you got to go to Manage Locations and then put in the address of your actual business so that people see where you are actually located. And then you also want to make sure to change this address right here. And that's pretty much it. Now, when people contact you through this form, then you will get a notification and you will see this inside of your dashboard. So I'm going to quickly show you where you see the new people that actually type in their information here. So I'm going to quickly save this page. And then I'm going to go to Settings, click Done, go to Settings on the top left, and then I go to My Dashboard. This is where you see an overview of all the different settings for your website. And now if we go to the left side here where it says Customer Management, let's click on Customer Management. And then we're going to click on Form Submissions. This is where you see people that have put in something inside of your form. And then you can get back to them, email them, or whatever you want to do with those leads that came from your website. Now, another thing I'm going to quickly talk about is this little chat box right here. So if you want to have this feature, you can just leave it on. So let's go to Preview. When people go to your website and they click on this icon, then they can start chatting with you. So they can say, hello, hello there. And then you can get back to them using this chat icon. But I would suggest that if you don't have any staff that is able to do this for you, or you don't have time to do this, just delete this chat icon entirely, because otherwise people will just be annoyed because you're not getting back to them. So you could just go to right click and then click on delete. But again, you'll see the messages that people sent you inside of your dashboard, inside of the inbox right here. So here you can see that I was just contacted by this one, hello there. So somebody just contacted me, so I could just type hi, and then you could just chat the customers or with the visitors on your website. But for now, I'm just going to delete this because I don't want to have a chat icon on my website. And that's pretty much it for the homepage. Let's move on to the footer. So here, what I would do is I would just delete this Wix advertising right here and change this to 2021 by James Consulting. Let's change this to our name, Maddox Consulting. And then you also have these social icons on the bottom that you can have there, or if you don't want them, just delete them. But what you want to do if you have them is you want to actually link to your social media accounts. So click on Set Social Links, and then you can click on Facebook icon and then just put in your Facebook link. So right now it's set to Wix, but obviously you want to put in your own Facebook page. So it would be Maddox Media in my case. You could also add new icons, so add icons here on the orange button, and then we could also add maybe our YouTube channel. Let's see, where is the YouTube icon? Right here. Add to gallery, and then obviously we would have to add a link. So I would just type in https youtube.com Maddox Media. Click done, and again done. And now when we go to preview and we click on the icon on the bottom, it will take people to the YouTube channel. So that's how you can customize each of the pages of your website. All you got to do is add strips, and then you add content or elements to the strip, and you customize each of the elements. Now, once you're finished with your homepage, what you want to do is do the same thing and customize all the other pages that you have set up as well. So in this example, I would have to do the same thing for services, about, clients, and contact. Basically everything that I have set up here, the pages for my website. So I would go to services and make sure everything is set up here, change the text, change the images, and so on. Now, once you're finished setting up all the pages on the desktop view, what you want to do is you want to also go to the mobile view and see if everything looks very nice and professional there as well. So click on the mobile icon right here, and that will open up the mobile editor. Now again, everything that you will change here on the mobile editor will only affect how your website looks like on mobile. So let's go back to the homepage. For example, you could, let's say we want to take out this strip right here where there's a video. We want to not show this on mobile. So all we got to do is click on this little hide icon, so hide section, and then it will not be shown on mobile. But if you go back to desktop, then you will see that this video is still there. So that's a very cool thing. Now, I think this looks pretty good. Maybe like, for example, okay, so this logo is a bit off. So what I would do is drag this to the left side, drag this up, and then make this a bit smaller. And then it already looks a lot better. Then maybe this also needs a bit more space. So what I would do is just drag this down a bit. Okay, I have to do like that. Drag this down, give it a bit more space for our button. Make the image also a bit larger. Drag the button down a little bit, like this. So you can see what I mean. You just drag it around to make it look very nice for mobile as well. And also you do this for every page. So your home page, the services page, the about page, and so on. Okay, so let's say now we are done creating our website. Let's go back to the desktop view, and we're ready to publish our website. Now to do that, we go to the top right here where it says publish, and just click on publish right here. And as you can see, this website is now published and live online, which means that people can actually go ahead and visit your website. Right now, this here is the URL of your website. So this is where people would need to go to see your website. And you can click on visit site and check out if everything works. You can check out the different sections, the different menus right here. And as you can see right now, the URL kind of looks ugly because right now it says maddoxtutorials.wixsite.com/my site. Now you could change the my site to whatever you want to, but the wixsite.com is something that you will not get out of the URL unless you connect your own domain to your website. And unless you just want to play around with building website, I think you really need to put your own domain on your website, because otherwise it just doesn't look professional. So in order to get our domain, or to assign our domain to our newly created website, we have to go ahead and choose a paid plan, because you have to choose a paid plan in order to be able to connect your own domain. Now I'm going to quickly go over the plans that Wix is offering, and also give you a recommendation about what I would choose for your website. So in order to see the plans, we have to go to the top here where it says upgrade, and then we're going to go to compare plans. And then we want to make sure that you are on the website plans, because they also have business and e-commerce plans for people who want to build an online store, but that's not really what we want to do with this website. So make sure you are on website plans. Now, what you need to do to connect a domain is this connect domain plan, which is the cheapest one they're offering. Now, I would actually not go for this one. The reason being is that they still have the Wix ads on your website when you go for the cheapest plan. So you would still see this site was designed with Wix.com, blah, 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 which also looks very unprofessional. So what I would highly recommend is to at least go for the combo option right here, which is probably more than enough for most people. You don't need to go for the unlimited plan unless you want to. Right now they have a discount going on. If you choose the yearly plan, you get 50% off. So if you want to go for the yearly plan, it might make more sense to go for the unlimited right away. But I would go for the combo one, because then you get a free domain for a year. You get you can use your custom domain. You get rid of all the Wix ads. You get SSL. Basically, you get this with all the plans. And you also get 2 GB of bandwidth, which should be enough for most new websites. And then once you see that you need more bandwidth, you can upgrade to this unlimited plan, which then will be probably also more than enough. So in this tutorial, I'm just gonna go ahead and sign up for the combo plan, because that's the one I recommend. And here is where you can choose your billing cycle. So depending on how serious you are with your website, you want to go for either the monthly, the yearly, or the 2-year plan. If you know that you will use this website for 2 years at least anyway, I would suggest you go for the 2-year plan. If you don't really know if this website will be the website that you're going to use for your business, or for whatever you want to create the website for, then I would go for the monthly plan, because if after 2 months you decide that you don't want to have that website anymore, you will be locked into the yearly payment. So for this tutorial, I'm going to choose the monthly plan, because this is just for demonstration purposes and I don't want to actually pay for an entire year. And then you're going to click on continue to checkout. And by the way, you get a 14-day money back guarantee on all premium plans. So even if you choose the yearly plan and then you decide that you don't want to use the website, you can just send them an email or contact their support, and then you will get your money refunded to your credit card, or however you paid for your plan. Then here you have to type in your credit card information, your name, and all that kind of stuff, and then click on submit purchase. All right, and then the next step is to actually connect your domain. So it could be like simonconsulting.com, medixmedia.com, fitnesstips.com, or .net, or whatever you want to for your business. I would choose a domain that has .com, because it just looks more professional and more legit. If you can't get the .com, I think the .net or the .co is okay as well. But the best case scenario is that you can actually get the .com domain. Now, if you already have a domain, you can just click on this button right here where it says connected, and then it will walk you through how to connect your existing domain. Basically, all you have to do is change the name servers of your registrar from your domain to the name servers of Wix. But if you don't have the domain, you can just type in your domain name right here that you want to go for. Let's say I want to choose medixconsulting.com. So let's see if this is available. Search. And cool, it is available. So what we could do is we could go ahead and get this domain. So click on get it. And again, here it's up to you what you want to choose. If this is a domain that you know that you will be keeping for a long time, you can go for the 3-year plan, because you will be saving some money. Or if you aren't sure yet, you can go for the 1-year plan, which is a bit more expensive, but it doesn't really matter too much. So because I don't really need this domain, I'm just going to go for the 1-year plan and then click on continue. Then on this step, you have to check if all the contact information is correct, and then again, click on continue. And then here, I would highly recommend that you actually activate the private registration. I know it is like $10 a year, but otherwise you will get a lot of spam emails in your inbox, and people will be able to see your address, and that's something you don't really want to. So I'm not going to register any domain without the private registration or without the privacy protection set up. So I would highly recommend to just choose this one right here and then click on continue. Then we have to submit the purchase right here. And that's it. Now Wix will assign this domain that we have just gotten to the website that we have created before. So there's nothing more that you have to do to actually assign this domain, but you probably have to wait a bit because sometimes it takes a couple of minutes or even longer until this domain is assigned to your website. So now you can close out of this page and get back to our website editor. The next thing I want to do is I want to go over the general settings for your website. In order to get there, we have to go to our Wix dashboard for our new site. So to get there, we go to the settings on the top left and then click on My Dashboard all the way on the bottom. And that will open up the dashboard of your website where you can see all kinds of information basically about your website. So you have analytics, so you can see how many people visited your website. You have different settings and so on. I will go a bit more in detail later on about the dashboard, but right now just want to go to the bottom left where you see settings. And then we want to go through the general settings that you see right here. As you can see, we already connected our domain, and the next thing would be our website settings. So let's click on website settings, and first of all, we can change the name of our site. So let's say this is my example site. Then I'm also gonna, as you can see here, this is our new domain that we have just set up. So maybe let's try if this actually works already. So let's just paste it in here, and nice, it works. So as you can see, we have a very nice looking domain, SSL protected. We have our website set up right here. All the pages are working, perfect. Now, the next thing you want to do, because actually when we go back here, you can see that we don't really have a favicon, because when you go to the Wix site, this little logo that you see in the top here, that's the favicon. And for your site, you also want to have a favicon, which is optimally your logo. So I'm going to put in a logo right here. So on the general settings, what we can do is we can go to the favicon section, click on upload image. So let's choose this M logo, click on choose file, and then click on save. And now let's go back to our site once it's loaded. Let's go back to our site and reload this page. And as you can see here, now you see this M favicon on the top. So that's the favicon. Now let's move on to the next step. Here you have the social share image, which is the image that will be visible when you share your website on Facebook or when other people will share a website on Facebook. So I would recommend to also just upload an image. It could also be your logo or something else. So I would just take this one again. And then Facebook doesn't really matter. Site history. Here you could restore all the versions of your website if you want to, if you mess up at some point. But that's pretty much it. You want to make sure to click save. Then we can go back to settings again and then go to business information. You can fill this out on your own. Again, you have to insert your logo, your name, maybe a short description, and your contact information, and so on. Just fill all of this out and then go back to settings, language and region. All the stuff that you fill out here, it will make it easier for your website to rank as well. So I would recommend to actually fill out as much as possible in the general settings right here. If you have multiple people working on your website, you can also click on roles and permissions and add the people that are also working on your site or administrating it right here. Now, really the last thing that we need to do for our new website is the SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, which basically means that you're trying to optimize your website for the search algorithm. So for Google, for Yahoo, for Bing, all the different search networks, you want to optimize your website so that people can actually find your website through these search engines. And the cool thing with Wix is that you don't need to know anything about search engine optimization, and they will help you setting up everything for your website. So to do that, we go to marketing and SEO on the left side, and then click on get found on Google. And then you will get to the SEO whiz. That's the so-called SEO. It basically helps you optimizing your website for Google. So we're going to click on start now. And then you just want to follow along with whatever they give you here. So first we have to enter the name of our business. So that would be, let's say, Maddox Consulting. Click on next. Then do we have a location? Let's say it's online. We don't have a location. Next. How would you describe your business? Here we have to enter 3 keywords for our business. So let's say consulting. Let's say we are social media marketing, or let's say social media, and marketing. So try to find the keywords that are most relevant for your business. So if you have a photography portfolio, you would use photography, for example, and so on. And then click on create SEO plan. And that takes us to our own SEO plan for our new website. So all you got to do here is go through each of these steps and do whatever they ask of you. So everywhere where you see a green check mark, this is already done, so perfect. And everywhere where you see this exclamation mark, the red exclamation mark, this needs something to be done. So the first step is to actually connect your site to Google. So click on connect to Google. And once you do that, it will be indexed in Google search, and people will actually be able to find your website through Google. Then the next step is set the homepage title for search results. So open the tab and read exactly what they want you to do. So the current SEO title is home example site, which doesn't make sense at all. What they recommend you put is consulting, Maddox Consulting, or social media Maddox Consulting, or marketing Maddox Consulting. But basically you're free whatever you want to put there on the title for the website. So what you could do is click on copy and then go to editor, and then it will open up the editor and it will show you exactly where you have to set up this title for your website. So as you can see, it automatically opens up the home page and then goes to the SEO settings. So you can do this actually for every single page here. You just go to services, then go to SEO Google, and then you can change the title. So we actually want to do this for each of the pages. So let's first do it for the home page. Click on SEO Google, and then we can change this to marketing Maddox Consulting. Then you would want to go to services page and also go to SEO Google and also change this to services, let's say Maddox Consulting. So you want to make sure every single page has a specific title so that in Google it will be easier to find, or Google will be able to rank you for your relevant keyword, so that when somebody types in what services does Maddox Consulting provide, then this specific site will come up. Then once you're done here, you can go back here and click on refresh. And then once everything is done, then this will be a check mark. Obviously, I haven't finished everything on the site right now, so this isn't a check mark already. But once you've done that, you go to the next thing, add a homepage description for search results. So again, we have to go to the editor, and then we have to add a description right here. So homepage description, advanced settings, SEO Google. Here, type in something, Maddox Media, blah, blah, blah. And then again, click on, obviously you have to save it. Probably that was the problem. Then when we go back and maybe refresh this, as you can see, now it is a green check mark and we can move on to the next thing. So again, here's the description. You want to put in a description and then just go through each of these steps until you're finished, and that will optimize your website for the Google search engine. And when you're done setting up your SEO settings, you basically have a fully functional new website. If you haven't yet started your own website, make sure you click the first link in the video description and start your website today. If you found this video helpful, make sure you click that thumbs up button, because then a lot more people will be able to find this information. And if you still have any questions, obviously just leave them down below in the comment section. Also, if you want to see more step-by-step tutorials about how to build a website, how to do email marketing, all that kind of stuff, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, or also take a look around on my channel, because I have already tons of tutorials for all kinds of marketing tools for online marketing, and make sure you check that out. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.